Connecting Point. I am Dr. Marcy, your facilitator for this discussion today. This is the place where creators connect to inspire, share their ideas and stories, to transform the world through raw and unedited talk. And today, oh boy, I tell you, I'm a little bit excited today because we have a group of young men here. I hope they still call themselves seasoned young men.
There we go.
The seasoned young men here from the PhD Jazz Band. And this is Jazz Appreciation Month. So I thought, why don't we have some of the top musicians come in and let's talk a little bit about music today and what they do. And so, gentlemen, I welcome you all to the Connecting Point.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Glad to be here.
Now, I must tell the connecting factor here, what connected us. Thus the name of this platform, Connecting Point. Well, if you look down at the bottom of the screen to my left and your right, maybe, I don't know, whichever way you're looking at your device, Mr. Rodney Allen here. He is he's a Phi Mu Alpha brother of mine, and he was I'm just gonna still say he's a colleague.
That's right.
He's retired now, but he and I have worked closely together in the school system. So through him, I got an opportunity to meet these three young men here who I think are, they are phenomenal musicians and people in general. And so we're going to get to know who they are today and a little bit of what they do. So gentlemen, anybody can start. Tell us who you are, give your name and where you're from, where you are right now. Who wants to go first?
I'll start.
Okay, Mr. Travis.
I'm Tavius Elder. I was born on this day 60 years ago.
Okay.
Is today your birthday?
Today?
Right.
Oh, happy birthday, Tavius.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
God, so much.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And look, I sang that through the pollen voice that I have today.
That was really beautiful. That was really beautiful. I'm from Atlanta. I'm a native. I'm a Grady baby. That's something that we say here in Atlanta. We were born at the I guess it's a public hospital. So I'm a Grady baby, and I grew up in a place called Bush Mountain. It's inside of Oakland City. It's one of the first. It's the first Black community on the south side of Atlanta, and I went to Joseph Emerson Brown High School and graduated from North Fulton High in Buckhead, and from there I went on to West Georgia University.
Okay.
And I was a fireman for 27 years, a public servant with the city of Atlanta, and that's that part of me is kind of the business side. The music side of me was I became interested in the guitar when I saw the Jackson 5 on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I screamed. I was about 3 or 4. I screamed, and I was calling my mom, Mom, come here. And she was doing something, but she took her time and came in, and they were still performing. And I said, Mom, I want to do that. I want to do it. She said, well, sing, baby. I said, no, I don't want to sing. I want one of those. And she said, one of those? I said, one of those. But Jermaine, I wanted a guitar. And she said, okay, And a couple of Christmases went by and I didn't get one. But eventually I got one, and that led me up to this point. You know, I really had a desire to play, and the desire and the fire is still here. So that explains my passion. So that's where I am.
All
Well,
right.
listen, I've heard you play that instrument. I tell you, you all were at the Creators Connect party this past summer, and I got a chance to hear you play that. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, it's something to reckon with. You something to reckon with.
That's right.
Yes. And who would
put in a lot of work.
You put it, okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about that too. Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Okay.
All right, who else would like to introduce themselves next?
I'll go. I'm Gerald Holland. And, you know, I've been here in Atlanta probably since the late 60s. So I was pretty much went to school here, grew up here. And my influence for that me started was actually my father. He was a band director at one of the colleges down in Middle Georgia. And he's played around with a lot of people, a lot of famous people. So naturally, he got me going. That music has stuck with me through all these years. I put it down when I got out of high school, and I picked it back up, and from there we've been off and on, and then met with Rodney and a few other guys. We got together and started that PhD jazz band. And since about 2000, I would think 2004 is when we first started, and we've been doing it ever since then.
Wow.
Like Fabius, I am a graduate of North Fulton High School. Fabius used to carry my book bags. I used to make them. Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
Right. Right. We went to the same high school.
Went to the same. Isn't that something? That
Yeah.
is amazing. Did you all know that?
We didn't know it.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds strange too. Like we went to the same high school. His birthday was it's tomorrow.
What?
Mine's today.
Oh man.
Wow.
Great.
Your
That's
birthday's
just
tomorrow.
amazing.
So listen. I mean, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what a connection.
It is.
Mhm.
What a connecting point.
It
I'm
is.
telling
Yeah.
you.
We didn't know this until we met.
Wow.
We went to the same high school, graduated from the same high school, and then turned out we a day apart
Wow.
on our birth dates.
It's wonderful. It's great.
Never know how God is putting things together. I'm telling you.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
That's an interesting fact. Okay. Anybody want to go next? We have two more gentlemen here.
Well, Rodney, you should go next, man, since I'm the new kid on the block.
Yeah, you new kid, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard. Okay, I got you, brother. All right, I'll go next. Yes, I'm Rodney Allen, native of Atlanta. Been here, most of all of my life. Let me see. Got interested in music in an early age, and another connecting point, like the guys, Tavius and Gerald, they went to North Fulton. I'm from the West Side. I went to West Fulton. So represent the West Side. West Side, West Fulton High School. And connecting point going back to Marcy, we, I always call her Queen Marcy, because she was our Phi Mu Alpha Symphonia Queen for our fraternity back in the day.
All right.
If I had a picture of my
back
phone,
in
I'd
the
show you
day.
a picture.
Yeah, that's a great picture.
Point. Yes, it is. Made from Morris Brown College. And also, Marcy, I know you at Grove Park for one while. That was the school I attended when I was
I might have been at Grove Park from Ooh, I'm thinking it might have been 10 years. I can't remember. Maybe
Years,
10
okay.
years.
Well, that was my elementary school. I finished
What?
Grove Park. Yeah, back in there,
Oh
way
my
before your time,
goodness.
though. Yeah, way before your time. But that's another connecting point.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes,
Right.
yes. But, but that's good. I got started at an early age. I'm a retired educator. Retired from Price Middle School back in 2011. And still been active in the band between, community band, jazz band, doing after school band. That's another
Mhm.
connection, Marcy. We
Yes.
work with after school band program. So I'm still being active in that. And, through the years, I'm just trying to keep the craft going and join PhD. Gerald and we got together years back. I can't even remember when we started, but, it grew and we been here together through the years.
Wow.
So that's my
Yes.
story.
All right.
Amazing. All right, Mr. King.
Well, I am Richard King. I'm from native Atlantan, graduate of Booker T. Washington High, the one and only. Yes.
Hey.
BW.
I think everybody has a connection there. It's a connecting point for the city.
Yes.
Booker T, right there in the
Yes.
slab of things. Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And band director there, Bobby Jordan, was really an inspiration and a mentor of mine. I started out playing clarinet, believe it or not, in elementary school. And I started playing drums basically on a dare because I was told that I could not make the Washington High School marching band on drums because I was a clarinet player. And but I just knew it because I knew I loved drums. And I wound up doing that. So, I finished there. I think I must have missed Rodney for a second because I played up at Morris Brown with Johnny Soul and all
Johnny
the
Soul.
drumline people up
Yes, sir.
there.
Yes, sir.
When I was in high school, when I was in the 12th grade, and I think Rodney came, I think the year after that.
Yeah, I came after you. Yes, sir.
Right, yeah.
A couple of years, might have been 2 years.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years after that. And then I wound up moving to California, wanting to get into the music business, like, eyes wide open and very naive. So, but I was working as a telecommunications consultant. So I went out there and could not break that ground whatsoever initially. So I quit the phone company and went full time making commercial jingles because I couldn't get a band together because it was the 80s and it was a lot of, negativity going out in Los Angeles area in the 80s, with the drug epidemic and the guns and all of that. So we couldn't keep bands together. So I bought a drum machine and started working with that and doing jingles. And moved back to Atlanta, and I hadn't played drums in probably 25 years on a drum set. But my cousin was in a band, and I just sat down. This was like in 2008. And from that point on, I haven't been able to get up from playing again. I went 25 years without playing. And then that one time that I sat down and played, it just engulfed me. So that's why I am now. I just feel so fortunate to be able to play with these. I mean, these guys are great musicians, and they have really taken me under their wing, per se, and taught me so much. And I'm very grateful. And I want all of them to know how grateful I am for, the experiences they've given me, throughout this short period I've been with their band. So that's why I am now.
That's all
Well,
right.
I am just listening. It is amazing to me how you all just wound up together. Like the old folks say, wound up together. But you ended up together, this brainchild, which I'm hearing, this came from Mr. Allen and Mr. Gerald. Did it come from you too? The brainchild for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we met. Yes, how we met.
So can you take me back? I mean, when you said that's how you met, you just called up each other. What happened?
Gerald, do you remember? I think the connecting was you remember Sarkina Walker.
Yeah, that's right. She was a band director at one of the schools my son graduated from.
Yeah. She's the band director. Currently, she's at Sandtown Middle School.
Okay.
And she was the band. Yes, she was the band director at Tri Cities. No, I'm sorry. Was it
Creekside.
Creekside? I'm sorry.
Creekside.
She was
Mhm.
she's the band director Creekside. She's a young lady, fabulous, and she's very talented. And we got I think the connection with her and Gerald. She wanted to have a jazz form a jazz band. And I think that was a connecting point. I got there and played with her and Gerald. And I forgot. It's been so long. Gerald, how long has it been?
I think it's about 2004, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah, that's been a
Wow.
while.
It's almost 18 years.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Think so.
Wow. Now, where did the name PhD Jazz Band come from? Who came up with that name?
Well, that stands for we were poor, hungry, and desperate.
You said poor. Did you say poor, hungry, and desperate?
No, it stands for pure harmony defined.
There we go.
Okay. Oh, Lord, poor, hungry, and desperate. Lord have mercy.
That's all right. Oh yeah.
So you say pure harmony defined.
Fine. There
Yeah.
we go. Yes.
That's right.
Ooh, I like that. I didn't know that. And I said, I got to ask them that tonight because I have had the opportunity of listening to you on more than one occasion. The most recent was this week. And I said, you know what? That music made me feel so good. Like I mentioned earlier, April is Jazz Appreciation Month. And so I really want to bring some awareness to groups like you who are actually out there playing music, consistently for the people to enjoy. And also to let people know the experience that you have when you're listening to them play is, amazing. I came there feeling tired, left there. Mr. Allen, thank you, Mr. Allen.
Thank you.
Mr. Rodney. He made sure I got there. He said, listen, come on. And after a long day's work, you're not thinking about, going to hear music per se. But I went and it rejuvenated me. I had to make myself go to bed.
Right. And you left on I guess what's called singing a high note.
Yes.
The summertime and
Summertime.
She fell right in, and it made you. I guess you felt better going home just through music, jazz.
Yes, even though I felt kind of bad because my voice wasn't where it needed to be to sing that night, and but hey, we do what we do.
Yes. Yeah.
And Dr. Marcy, we will have a microphone for you next time.
Yes, we will.
I told Mr. Allen, I said it was hard to sing, without a mic, with my voice carry that, a great distance. But the music was just, I tell you, you can tell that you all are masters at what you do. So let me ask you, what got you into playing jazz though? I know you do all kind of music, but jazz is what your name says. So what got you into that? What made you want to play jazz?
I guess, can I start on this one?
Yeah.
I wasn't really into jazz, but in my household, growing up, my dad, bless his soul, he used to have some Jimmy Smith albums. My dad loved jazz. He used to play, Jimmy Smith, the great organist, and he just played, during the day. And I just listened to it growing up as a child, and it really, kind of said, that sounds good. I said, that's it's a lot of good rhythm, the chords, and it just kind of seemed like it just uplifted me. When you listen to the jazz, I say, I'm feeling better just listening to the music. So that was as a child growing up, and but going up through the years, I played a lot of R&B, back then disco. And one summer, I think I was taking a graduate course at Georgia State University during the summer, and I met a young lady, Dr. Simmons. I don't know if you all know Rosemary Rainey. But she's a great jazz singer. She's married one of our frat brothers, John Robinson. But
Okay.
she used to talk with me and let me know that I told her I was a musician, was playing a little bit. But she said she plays and she sang at 200 South back in used
Mm.
to be on Camilton Road. And she invited me to come down. I would listen to her, and she would play some pieces. And the musicians, they were awesome musicians back then. And but that really kind of got my ear toward jazz. I had more of appreciation for it then, in my adult years. But but Rosemary Rainey, she really got me into it. Listening to Ella Fitzgerald and my influences. I used to like Jimmy Smith, and I like the old school Ramsey Lewis.
Yeah. Ooh,
You know,
let me tell you
Yeah.
something.
yeah, Ramsey
Oh
Lewis.
Lord,
Yeah, that.
I remember, not to cut you off, but when
Go
I was a
ahead.
little girl, my uncle, I had an uncle, he's no longer with us, but we would go to my grandparents' house and he had this collection of albums.
Mm-hmm.
And Ramsey Lewis
Mm.
was in the one that was played over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I imagine not knowing, but as a little girl, it was already making an impact on me to hear it. My uncle was a percussionist like Mr. King. So he would get in there and play drums on top of Ramsey
Yeah.
Lewis.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But he really inspired me. Yeah, through the
Yeah.
years. That's all right.
Yeah, when I first got out to Los Angeles at the Palomino, just piggybacking off Rodney, Jimmy Smith used to be there like
Yeah.
every Tuesday at the Palomino.
Okay.
Yeah, and it would be like just unbelievable because he would allow people to play with him.
Mm.
So it'd be so many musicians in the audience that would come up and have an opportunity to play with Jimmy. So I never had the nerve to do it, but because those guys were so awesome, man, I just loved it. But just like Rodney, my dad influenced me through his music and his album collection. But his was a little bit different. He liked the big band type jazz. He was like the Count
Duke
Basie, Duke
Ellington.
Ellington,
Yeah.
and all of those type guys. And he introduced me to drummers like Gene Cooper and Buddy Rich. And, I really used to like Chick Corea and the Return to Forever band with Stanley Clarke and Chick. And I think they had Billy Cobham and who else was in that band? There was one other person I can't recall. Yeah. But I used to try to play on top of them when I was in high school and stuff. And, that was so much fun just trying to duplicate what those guys were doing back then. But, so that's how I got into this. I just love big band. I love orchestra. I love jazz and, just playing.
Okay, Mr. Tavis, what made you jump into jazz?
Oh, let's see. My first encounter with jazz was I got my first guitar after years after I got married, and believe it or not, it was because of I wanted to put my intention into something that I knew what I put into it, I could get out. And I was trying to think of something because it seemed like everything that I was dealing with people, you put your effort in, and not everybody, but my experience with people then, I would put my effort in, and then it would all be for nothing. And so it came about me trying to figure out a direction to go that where I could put my effort into, and it would be worthwhile, and I could always use it, and I could keep it, I could sustain it and grow it. And so I was already messing with the guitar, and I decided that I would do that with the guitar. And it was some years after college. When I went to college, I didn't play. When I got out and got married, that's when I started And I got it. Actually, my wife bought me a guitar and an amplifier, and then I went out in search of the type of music I wanted to play. And so I went to all these clubs, and they were playing all kinds of music. And one day I stepped into this place called the Amish Coffee House. And I stepped in there, and there was a guitarist playing. His name was Chuck. And I knew it then. I knew it. I said, "This is it. This is what I want to do." My wife looked at. I said, "This is the music right here." She said, "What is it?" I don't know, but this is what I want.
That's it, right?
It was expressive. I saw everybody expressing themselves,
Oh,
and the music was different. It was colors, and it was all kind of colors and feel and flavor. The rhythms were different. It was like I was Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz or something, just discovering all this stuff. I'm like, oh wow. Hey, it was awesome. And that's when I started. It was about 1987 when that happened. And
wow.
And after that, I just indulged. I just put myself on. I want to know everything about it. And then I ran into a few artists and mentors that helped me out along the way. You know, that taught me, but never said anything about music and the guitar. It was life stories that they would tell me, and you know, and to watch, listen. It wasn't really technical. It was about sound. Jazz had to do with expression and sound, and it wasn't scales. It was about your life. If people can feel your life when you play. That's what it was about. It wasn't technical. It wasn't scales. It was about expressions. It was about itself on your instrument.
Wow.
Play. I remember the first person let me in that group, and I asked him. It was Sonny Emery Sr. and his wife sang, and I asked him. And he said, "Let me talk to my wife about it." And man, I couldn't play. Mary Had a Little Lamb, the whole step. And he said he called me back a month later and said, "Well, me and my wife talked about it, and we decided, yeah." And I jumped, screamed. Well, that next week we were on the road, and I couldn't play. I didn't know, and he took me on his wings. I could read charts. There was a guy, Derek, he plays on the corner. He made me buy my first book, and we went on the corner. And that summer, we went through that whole book. It's the real book. That book had 1,000 pages, but we played every tune in that book in one summer.
Wow.
And I pretty much know. You know, we on the corner. I learned how to play on the corner. I learned how to call tunes on the corner, how to attract people, attraction and repulsion, how to make the crowd move, how to make people come to you. It's just crazy, man. That's what jazz is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm listening to you. I'm listening.
Learning how to read the room. Learn how to read the room. So I learned. Man, it's crazy, man. You know, it's crazy. But anyway, that's how I got interested in jazz, through me trying to put my effort into something, really, really studying it. Because that's the type of person I was, and I'm not through.
Right.
You know, I'm not through.
You know,
I'm
sorry. I think we got
Go
some
ahead.
back. You probably getting some feedback from the because your sound is a little muffled too, Mr. Tavis. But
wait.
Your sound is a little muffled. I don't know if you can hear me well either. But I'm just listening to you describe what jazz is to you, and I was about to ask that question anyway. What is jazz to you? But that's it. Yeah. It's a form of expression. and free
Right.
expression. And I'm gonna, there's a reason I
Right.
said free. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. But I want to get down there to Mr. Gerald now. What made you tap into jazz?
Well, like everybody else here, you know, my father was a saxophone player, and he played jazz. He played in a band, and he used to go out, you know, gigging real often, and he used to take me with him. And I was small, so I couldn't play, but he gave me the maracas, and that's what he, you know, had me doing. But anyway, he just, you know, I just went with him and listened to all the other musicians that were in the band, and you know, from there it kind of stuck, even though I kind of went away from it for a while, but you know, I came back home, and I, so ever since then, I that's what I've been doing. That's what I like, and again, it's an expression.
Mhm.
You express yourself in different ways. There's no really wrong or right. Just you're expressing yourself through your musical instrument. Uh, so yeah, I'll just keep it short, and that's it.
Okay, well, it's expression, and you know, recently here, I've been teaching. I always ask God before I start a school year, what am I to teach? And this year He said, go free the people. And I'm like, what? Free the people? What is, you know, but He meant creative freedom. And so I started teaching the children how to be creatively free in the music room, which really, if I want to define it in musical terms, it would be improvisation.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is one of the highest forms of creative freedom in jazz music. Okay,
Right.
that you're using this creative freedom. Yeah, the music's on the page, but you do a little something else with it. You know, that's just like if I go in my kitchen and I get a recipe, I'm gonna jazz that recipe up to make it taste like I want it to taste.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
So that's what you all are doing. You're
Mhm.
taking this music and you're adding your little flavors to it, adding the different flavors, and we get this wonderful meal to sit back and listen to. And so I am just amazed at how you all are able to go from venue to venue and do this on a weekly basis. Does it feel like work to you going to play at different places?
Oh man.
No,
I don't know.
no, it's fun. It's
Yeah,
recreation.
yeah. Yes, it is.
It's I think it's what we all love to do, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And being retired, you know, I can't think of any retirement gift I could have given myself
Yeah, yeah.
other than the gift of playing music.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
And also it's like it's kind of like our calling. You know, we out playing. You know, we are inspiring people. We're motivating. We're uplifting their spirits. Like Marcy said, she came in. She was kind of tired, but you know,
Yeah.
she listened to some good music. You know, they left. You know, a lot of people left uplifted. You know, empowered
Yes.
through music.
And I even watch, you know, when I sit in places, I do watch expressions. You know, nobody might know, but I'm looking around. And I noticed in that evening, the young, the middle age, and the older were in the same place.
Yes.
And they all had this jubilant, you know, move in their bodies, their shoulders, you know. So even knowing that, the music made an impact. It connected everybody in the room.
Yeah.
It connected everyone in the room.
Yeah.
And so that is a connecting point in itself, music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Music.
It's universal, you know.
It is.
It's universal. Everybody, I mean, you put a piece of music, speaking of just technical, it doesn't matter where you're from. You put that sheet of music in front of them, it's going to be the same music. You know, all the dynamics, all the notes, all of the everything is going to be exactly the same, you know. So being universal like that, you know, everybody understands music. People have their favorite genres, of course, but music, if it's good music, people appreciate that. And I think that's what our goal is just to provide good music for our audiences and send them home feeling much better than they came when they felt when they got there.
It's medicine, y'all. I'm telling you. It's medicine, it's vitamin. I got a vitamin the other night. A vitamin. Now, I do want to say this as we're on here. I hope at least one of y'all can give us a little musical tune or something. Anybody want to give us something? Anybody?
Anybody bring anything?
Gerald was always
Gerald over there next to
I think
Gerald,
y'all did that on purpose.
Right next to Gerald.
They did it on purpose, Mr. Allen.
Yeah, I think you all set me up. Yeah.
Oh, Rodney.
I got a keyboard, but I don't know, you know, I don't know. Let me see. I don't have any. Let me see. I don't know if you can hear this thing. All right. Can y'all hear that?
I can hear it. Yes.
Okay.
I want you to sing too.
But say it again.
I want you to sing a song with it too.
Yeah, sing it, Rodney.
No.
What do you want me to sing with that? I don't know what.
We definitely messed up then. But let me see. I got my keyboard set up here. I've been doing this like when we're having our church, and you know, with this pandemic, we're getting the Zoom and trying to get the, you know, getting the equipment and everything set up. So hope I can get a good clear sound here. I just got my keyboard set up, and I thought I'd say Marcy, you know, she probably would, Dr. Similar would probably have us to play a little something. And the thing about jazz to me is communication, it's interpreting a song. And one thing about jazz, you can play the same song every night, but if you can project it, you can play it a different way, your own way, how you feel every night. Let me see, because like, you know, it depends on what we got. Like I can take a simple melody. I'm not gonna play anything piece, but just think about Mary Had a Little Lamb. And that's just a simple melody. Now, if I would look to jazz it up, I would get a feel. I like set a tempo, get a little beat. That's a swing feel, and you might want to kind of jazz it up like this. Yeah. See, just simple melody and just kind of play how I felt, or somebody else might play it better. I mean, you know, have their own interpretation of it. That's the beauty of jazz.
Yeah.
That's what jazz is.
New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Add that to the repertoire.
Look, I've seen that. I know the words to that.
All right, got
Look, Mr. Key, I know the words to that. I don't have to look at all the words up like I had to the other night.
There we go.
And see, another thing, say jazz, it's you know, that's the typical rhythm, one of the rhythms. That's a jazz swing style. You can do a bossa, you could do a ballad, even disco. You know, but the jazz is just a feel. And you know, they have a lot of you know, contemporary jazz and a lot of different rhythms out there. But that's just something I felt tonight.
It is creative freedom. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Creative freedom. Now, I'm not gonna hold y'all long because I know you know busy most of the time in the week. But before we get off of here, I want you to take the next, let's say, 10 seconds and think about one word that describes jazz for you. And what would that be?
Communication.
So, okay, Mr. King said communication. Okay.
Yeah.
I like expression.
Expression.
I would say the same thing. It's expression. You know, your roots, because you can hear a lot of gospel too in
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah.
I would say spirit.
Ooh, spirit.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Spirit.
Mhm.
So
So
Well, listen, I'm coming to hear you all again, and Mr. Allen will keep me up to date. I know.
I will do.
I know he will keep me up on where you are. And I just really, really, really want to thank you all for joining me in this discussion tonight to celebrate Jazz Appreciation Month. And I do want to ask you to please continue what you're doing. You're putting smiles on faces. You're putting rhythm in somebody's foot to tap.
Yes,
I'm serious.
that's
also,
what.
Doctor, let me see. You know, we're on Facebook.
Oh, that's right.
Facebook,
We're getting ready to do that now.
Okay. I jumped the gun.
Where can we connect with you? Where can the audience connect with you if they want you to come out and play for any event? And listen, they play more than jazz, y'all. You know, they go all over the spectrum. So whatever your preference, they can play it. Please believe that. Okay, Mr. Allen, can you tell everybody where to connect?
Yeah, I think Gerald is more of our, I guess, communications officer.
Okay.
Gerald has all the hookup.
Besides Facebook, you know, we do have a website that people can go to and see a lot of information. It's got some sample songs, some videos on there, and we're on one of the sites. It's called a Big Masters. That's where people go to find new musicians, so they can find us on that as well. And all information is on the website, and it is www.phdjazzband.com.
Y'all hear that?
And currently, we're every Monday we're at Sandtown Pub. Yes, Sandtown Pub on Mondays from 7 to 9.
7 to 9 on Mondays, y'all listen. Y'all meet me there now. I'm gonna be going on. I'm gonna it's a nice venue. You can go in there, have you something to eat, something to drink if you want something to drink, and enjoy. It's a good vibe in that place.
Yeah, it is.
Now, do you have individual things going on that you might want to share before we get off? Like if you have other things, other businesses that individually that you do that you would like to share?
Well, I'm a member of the Metropolitan Atlanta Community Band, which is a concert band of about 80 pieces. And we are back rehearsing finally after COVID. And, you know, it's just great being able to see a lot of the people and finally get back to the rehearsals. So that's one of the other musical performances that I'm affiliated with.
Yeah, Gerald and I also, we trying to recruit Tavius.
Yeah.
That's my first. This is my first time hearing it.
Yeah.
We'll get him.
I think it's wonderful. I hope you all stay together and keep making that good music. And I thank you again. I thank you for this opportunity to speak with you this evening. And like I say every week, if you would like to be a part of this discussion on the Connecting Point with Dr. Marcy, you may email me at drmarcyts@gmail.com, or you can just Google Dr. Marcy's Connections. You can find a way to contact me there. Also, we have a group on Facebook, a private group, the Connecting Point for Creators group. which we have a close to about 400 creators there, and it's creators of all kinds, from chefs to hairstylists to musicians to artists. Everybody's a creator. You just got to know what you create. And so if you feel like you would like to be a part of a progressive group of creators, then look us up on Facebook, send a request to join. We would love to have you. It's a place where we promote each other and we get words of encouragement and encouraging, top music and things throughout the week to keep us going. So if that's something you would like to do, look us up and we'd be happy to have you.
And Dr. Simmons, we should have did this first. We'd like to thank you for inviting us for this platform.
Thank you,
for your
Simmons.
service. Thank you for everything that you do through music, connecting everybody. Through music, this is a great platform to get the word out, get your skills and talents, and let everybody know what they're doing. So blessings, and thank you so much for what you do for bringing this.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure having y'all today. I'm telling you. And so, audience, this show airs on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. on Instagram TV, YouTube, and it goes on Facebook. Now, on Wednesday night, if you miss it on Tuesday, you can get it on KBCN TV. And if you don't have time to watch it, you can listen to it in your car. We're on Spotify and Anchor. So you have no excuse. You can hear about what these wonderful creators are doing from week to week. Now, until we get this moment again, peace and blessings. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.